All right, so we are going to talk about the triangle angle sum. And in order to do that, we're going to do a little experiment. So what you're going to need for this experiment is a piece of paper and some scissors, and then either some tape or glue. So pause the video and run and go get those things. Okay, welcome back. All right, so now what you're going to do is out of your paper, you're going to cut out a triangle. Make it kind of a nice triangle, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to cut out a triangle. Okay, there's my triangle. I made what looks like an obtuse triangle. I know that looks close to 90 degrees, but I don't think it is. All right, so go ahead, pause the video, and cut out a triangle. Okay, welcome back. So now you are going to take your triangle and you're going to rip off the corners. Okay, so watch me rip off mine, and then I want you to do that afterwards. Here we go. We're ripping off the angles. So there's my angles. So pause the video and rip off your angles. All right, those are beautiful angles. So now what I want you to do is pause the video and take a minute and play with these angles that you have here. And I want you to put them together as if they're like pieces of pizza. So the points, the vertexes of these angles, I want you to put them all together. All right, so pause the video and go ahead and do that. All right, hopefully when you did that, you discovered something very cool. All right, so I'm going to put mine all together. I'm just putting a little glue on the back. All my angle vertices together. Now remember what shape we started with, right? We started with a triangle. These are the angles of that triangle. And I want you to notice something. Do you see how these angles create a straight line? Oops, not when I wiggle them. All right, you see? And do you remember from hopefully middle school how many degrees a straight line has? It has 180. A straight angle. You also might remember that from a video we did a couple weeks ago. So a straight line has 180 degrees, and these were made from a triangle. Angle A, B, and C from your triangle. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees. I should probably put angles in there to make it a little more accurate. All right. So what the triangle angle theorem says, angle sum theorem says, is that the angles in a triangle add up to, and remember adding is sum, add up to 180 degrees. And that's pretty important. So on your notes, you want to make that look important. The angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And this little way of ripping paper and putting your little pizza slices together, this actually is a form of a proof to prove why that works. All right, so now that you know that the angles in a triangle for sure add up to 180 degrees, we're going to do one or two, maybe three examples just to make sure that you know how to use this. Okay, so example number one. I'm just going to draw a random triangle, and I'm going to put some angle measures in it, and we are going to figure out what x is. All right, well, we know that in a triangle, the angles add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to add up the angles. Okay, and you just write an equation, and the equation will help you figure it out. So at this point, you're just going to solve the equation. X plus 136 equals 180. Now, keep in mind, if you're having trouble with solving equations, then you really need to make sure that you come talk to me so I can help you with that, because we're going to do a lot of it. All right. Now, we're going to do the last step. And 180 minus 130 would be 50. 50 minus 6 would be 44 degrees. So that missing angle in this first problem is 44 degrees. Okay, that's the simplest version. Next, I'm going to show you a little bit more algebraic. And now keep in mind that I'm kind of making these up on the spot, so they may not turn out beautifully. Okay, so here we have a triangle, and we only know parts of it. Okay, we know the expressions for the angles, but we don't know the angles themselves. So now we need to set up an equation to figure out what x is. And then we're also going to figure out how many degrees each angle is. All right, so the triangle angle sum formula says that we need to add the three angles together and set them equal to 180. So it doesn't matter what order we add these in because addition is commutative, which means it doesn't matter what order we do them in. A lot of the time when people substitute these in, they have parentheses around each angle. That's fine. It helps really when there's subtraction. For addition, it's not as pivotal. So we're going to combine like terms. So that's going to be 5x plus 64 equals 180. And going to just continue solving. And of course, because I made this up, it doesn't come out beautifully. So that is the value of x. X is 23.2. That's all, 23.2. Now, if we want to figure out the measure of each of these angles, I'm just going to name them now, the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B, then we need to substitute for that. So angle A is 2x plus 5, and we know that x is 23.2. And because I've done this problem before, I can magically do that math right there. And so 2 times 23.2 plus 5 equals 51.4 degrees. So now we know angle A. And similarly, we can figure out angle B. Angle B is 3x minus 6. We know x is 23.2. And we're going to simplify that, and we end up with 63.6 degrees. So angle B is 63.6 degrees. All right, so that's a simple version and an algebraic version. And we're going to do two more just to kind of show you. I'll do it on the back, I guess, just to show you a couple more ways that you might see these problems. So one, I'm going to draw it. If you are doing these notes, you should probably pause the videos to draw, because otherwise that will be kind of confusing for you. Or you can just draw it alongside me while I awkwardly sit silently. All right, so here is two triangles together. Now remember, individually, each triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So this one here is 180 degrees, and also this one. All right, so let's see what we can do. I think that it would be easiest right now to figure out what y is, because in this triangle, we have something in each of the three angles. So to figure out y, we would just add together the three angles. 30 plus 68 plus 5y minus 8 equals 180 degrees, because the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay, and we're going to solve that and figure out what y is. So when I combine like terms, I end up with 5y plus 90 equals 180, and then I'm just going to finish solving that. All right, so y is 18. That doesn't mean 18 degrees. It means that y is 18. Okay. Next, we want to figure out the purple triangle. Well, in the purple triangle, we have 6x minus 2 plus 72 equals 180. Well, does that make sense? Because the formula says all three angles added together have to equal 180. So we're actually missing an angle. 1, 2, 3 angles. Now, I'm going to show you something and just kind of allude to it because we haven't discussed it yet. But whenever two lines intersect, it forms these angle pairs kind of like this. Okay? And those angle pairs have a special relationship. I'm going to write it right here. That yellow means that these are vertical angles. And the rule is that vertical angles are congruent. And I will prove that to you later, but for right now, we're just going to go with it. Well, congruent means equal, so if this one's 68, then that has to be 68. And there we have our third angle. All right, so we're going to combine like terms. I don't know why. Oh, I see. All right, so we have 6x, and then 72 minus 2 is 70. 70 plus 60 would be 138. All right, and now we're going to just finish solving. Six x equals 22, and x equals, and then 22, 60. I made a mistake here, but hopefully not. All right, so I got that x equals 3.67. Now we can substitute that back in and check to be sure, which we will do later. For right now, we're just going to take my word for that. All right. Now, if we wanted to figure out the measure of the other angles, we could do that by substituting back in. All right. And lastly, and I'm going to show you this because it's kind of like one you're going to see on an assignment. Sometimes you don't even have a picture. It'll just tell you some information. Something like triangle ABC has a measure of angle A for 89 degrees. So this means the measure of angle A. The measure of angle B is 3x plus 20. And the measure of angle C is 2x minus 8. All right, what we want to find is x and the measure of angle B and the measure of angle C. Okay, so when you do not have a picture, the first thing you should do is draw one. So I'm going to draw triangle ABC. This is, of course, not drawn to scale because we don't know what that would look like. And then we're going to label our angles. So A is 89, B is 3x plus 20, and C is 2x minus 8. And now that you have it drawn, you can really see the problem. So we're going to add the three angles together. And the sum of the three angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. All right, so let's combine like terms. We have 5x plus 101 equals 180, and then we're just going to keep solving. All right, and we get x equals 15.8. Now everybody gets afraid like I did here when we have a decimal for answer, but decimals are numbers too, so they're fine. All right, so now we have x done. The measure of angle B. Well, here's angle B, and it equals 3x plus 20. And we know what x is, so we're going to substitute into it and simplify. And we get 67.4. So angle B is 67.4 degrees. Now we also want to find angle C. I'm going to do it over here. Angle C is 2x minus 8. So 2 times 15.8 minus 8. Just substitute in. So angle C is 23.6 degrees. And if we add all these together, or all these plus that one, we should get 180. All right, so that's it for the triangle angle sum. We're going to do a quick video for exterior angle in a moment, and then you'll be all set. Bye-bye.